Jill Michaels and welcome to Starlight Eats. Today I'm going to be creating cocoa zucchini cake. This is something that my mom used to make when she had way too much zucchini in the summer. So this was a great way to use it up and trick Dad into eating it. So what we're doing today is we're starting with butter. I have prepared a little bit of butter. That's just a half a cup of butter. And this is softened already. Now you can actually substitute half of that butter with a little bit of yogurt, half butter. It's actually, the total is half cup. So you would do a 1/4 cup butter and a 1/4 cup of plain organic yogurt. I don't have the yogurt today, but that is a good substitute. So we are starting with the butter, and then we're doing a half a cup of pure vegetable oil, and we're going to add that in. This is a pretty easy, simple recipe. I'm having my coffee this morning. It's very cold here in Orlando, unusual for us, but I'm having some nice coffee. And I actually earlier made some tea. If you've never had a tea latte, you can just steep a cup of tea and then take about half a cup of milk and get it really toasty in your microwave, and then froth it, and add it to your tea, and then with a little bit of vanilla syrup. I have this vanilla syrup by Trani. It's very good. And when you put just a tablespoon or so of that and a little bit of whipped cream, it's really good. But I am having coffee now because it's so cold. I had to have both today, but this has some nice cinnamon on it. Amazing. Okay, so far we just have a half cup oil, a half cup butter. And now I am putting in 1.5 cups of sugar. I'm actually going to use like half and half, at least being able to add a little bit of the turbino. I'm probably not saying that right. Let's see, we'll do our half cup of the turbino, which is the raw cane sugar. I actually got to go to Trader Joe's. Now that we have a Trader Joe's, I can get all of my goodies there for such great prices. I love them. And then we're doing 1 level cup of regular sugar. Try to do as little of that as possible, you know. Put that away. I have such a tiny kitchen, you know, I have to get rid of stuff. Okay, so then we are adding 2 eggs and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. The vanilla is nice. You can add a little butter flavoring if you have it. I think I'm actually going to add 2 teaspoons of the vanilla, just for a little extra vanilla. But you can, if you have butter flavoring, that's nice as well. Then a half cup of soured milk. And I wanted to mention that this is really soured milk, like it just went bad. But if you don't have it, you can add to a half a cup, or let's say to 1 cup of regular milk. You can add like a tablespoon of vinegar, and it makes it into soured milk. So we're doing a half cup of soured milk, or buttermilk, which is awesome. Makes it very moist. The buttermilk makes things really moist. We want our cake to be really moist, nothing like a dry cake. Woo, not good. Okay, so I'm sure you've had those before. Okay, now we are adding 4 tablespoons of cocoa. 1, I'm doing them heaping. We want it really chocolatey. 2, 3, and 4. That's nice. And 2 cups of flour. You can also do oat flour, which is nice. I just didn't happen to have any. You can prepare it by just putting oats in your blender. I think we talked about that before. And blending the oats turns into oat flour right away, so you always have your nice oats to use in it. But I am using regular white flour today. The next thing is a ½ teaspoon baking powder. So we're doing a ½ teaspoon baking powder. Now I'm blending all this together at once. I'm not doing the butter separate because it's a cake and it can take a lot of beating. That's pretty funny. Okay, it can take a beating, just like a washing machine, I don't know. Okay, so we are on the 1 teaspoon soda. And a ½ teaspoon of salt. And we're almost there. Okay, soda, salt, done with all of that. And a ½ teaspoon cinnamon. I think I might just go ahead and add a teaspoon of cinnamon. Just a little more. Okay, 1 teaspoon cinnamon. All right, and I'm going to go ahead before I add the zucchini to this and blend that so that it is very blended up and mixed. And we get out our blender. And it starts before we do. Always make sure blender's turned off. This is why we're learning together. No. Okay, so I am blending this down so that you can see it a little bit. And what I like to do when I make a recipe is I like to go down through the recipe again and just make sure that I got everything. We got oil, butter, sugar, eggs, vanilla, sour milk, flour, cocoa powder, soda, salt, cinnamon, and then the zucchini will come very last. Now I'm going to blend just for a minute, very slowly, starting out slowly. Let those wet ingredients get in there with that cocoa. You can turn it up just a little bit as you go, as it gets thicker and more together. With that butter blended really nicely in there. It was softened, like I said, so that makes a nice difference. It is so gorgeous out today. It is beautiful weather, like 70. I don't even think it's 70 outside. Woo, it's so nice. All right, and that is pretty well blended. It's pretty smooth, but we are going to blend more after we add our zucchini. Now, I just wanted to show you that I had been grating this on this little grater, and, you know, just like that, just basically grating. And it takes 2 cups. So let's get all this good stuff out of here, the interior. And this is approximately 2 cups. You can measure it, but just by eyeing it, I can tell that's about 2 cups. So let's put that to the side so you can see. Isn't that beautiful? So we're getting green in our cake. I love it. It gives it a lot of moisture. It's really nice for the moisturized part of it. See how nice it is? And then we're going to blend slow. Just let those start to get in. The grated, it doesn't really have to be small or large because it blends in nicely. When you see the cake after it's baked, you can't even really see that it has zucchini in it. It's funny, but it's good for you. And now I'm going to pep it up a little bit to really get it creamy and nice and blended. Beautiful. There's our lovely batter. And now we are going to put it right in the pan. I'm actually making a bundt cake today with this because bunts have a pretty shape and it's kind of more festive, and then we're going to make a really nice drizzle over it. And we're all green today. We've got the green. Okay. So now the bundt pan has already been sprayed, so it does have spray oil on it. And we're going in with our nice chocolatey. This is beautiful. So nice. Nice texture. And again, really a moist cake because of the zucchini. I really just used 2 zucchinis in this. They were medium-sized, I guess, and that made 2 cups, so that is perfect. And we are getting that in. Doing like a little surprise at the end on this because I was thinking, I think my mom put sometimes chocolate chips on top to make it more chocolatey, but I'm actually going to add white chocolate chips to this. Okay. My surface cleaned up here. So there it is. It's all beautiful. I'm clean as you go. That's what I like to do. Okay. Now we're going to add the white chocolate chips, and I'm just going to take about half a bag. And just sprinkle those lightly over the top. Just kind of sprinkling, tossing like that. Just, I mean, not really probably even a half a bag. We're just kind of tossing. And these will end up at the bottom when we turn over our cake, so we'll put something special on top. Alright, beautiful. There it is. Now I'm going to put it right into the oven at 350. And we're going to let that bake. I'm going to tell you at the end how long I baked it because for a 13 by 9 it takes 40 to 45 minutes. I'm sure it will take maybe a little bit longer. So we're going to time it and we'll be right back. While we are waiting for our beautiful chocolate zucchini cake to bake, and it is looking fabulous, by the way, we are going to go ahead and prepare some topping. I've got orange juice because I'm thinking the orange would be really nice with the chocolate, but I'm also going to add in some cherries. A little bit of cherry to make it kind of sweet. Chocolate cherries, you know, that goes good. And the only extra sweet thing that we put on it was the few white chocolate chips. So I have about 2 cups of powdered sugar. And the powdered sugar, you know, you can always add a little bit more if you put a little too much of the liquid. Just couple of cups should make enough topping to make a nice drizzle. We don't want it to be too heavy, especially on a bundt cake, and we're trying to keep it a little bit light. So I'm going to take a little orange juice and just add a little of that in. That was probably only about a tablespoon, maybe a little bit more. And then a little bit of half and half to make it a little creamy. So if we get it too runny, we can always add a little bit more of the sugar. Then we're going to take a little bit of softened butter. This is a really nice butter that I use, the olive oil butter. It's pure, so it is regular butter. Try to always use regular butters, not any of the low calorie ones. At least just do this. Make sure you read the ingredients. If it says butter and it's pure, that's what you want. And this one has olive oil in it, so that's very nice too. I'm just going to add 1 tablespoon just to give it a nice little buttery flavor. And then I'm going to take like a couple tablespoons of the cherry preserves and add that. And then just blending it in nicely with the little whisk. Ooh, nice cherry color. Nice. This would be nice for Valentine's Day. And then I'm going to add, I think I'm going to leave it kind of drizzly like this, kind of runny and drizzly like this, so that it's just going to drizzle and kind of soak into the cake. That gives it more moisture and not too much sweetness then, nothing heavy. Oh, that looks beautiful. And we're just going to taste a little bit, to see. Wow, that is good. So it has a little tartness with the orange juice. You could even use a little bit of orange rind if you have an orange. It would make it nice. And then this gives it some little sweetness. So it's very good. All right, so we're just going to put this on hold to the side and wait for our cake to bake. Be right back. We're back to finish our beautiful chocolate zucchini cake with Starlight Eats. And I am just going to top it out. It was actually 40 minutes that it took to bake. Came out beautifully. And now we're going to flip it right out of there. This is why you definitely want to put some nice spray oil. It came out perfect. And we are going to now drizzle. And this is obviously very runny. It's okay. We're going to just make it nice and moist by doing this. I like it this way. It's just kind of drizzling back and forth. Give it some nice sweetness, a little bit of cherry we used. So there you have it. Very nice. There it is. It is beautiful. Okay, now we're going to just go ahead and cut a little piece to see how it turned out inside. I'm sure it is beautiful. And get a little plate out to put it on. Oh, yes, that is lovely. There it is, nice and moist. Very dark, and with a little, see our little white chocolates on the bottom, and it has the nice drizzle, which we can get just a little more of and drizzle across there. Might want to serve it with just a little bit of whipped cream. I think that would be really nice. Let's taste it. Oh, it looks beautiful. Wow. It's really good. Thank you for joining me at Starlight Eats, and remember to eat healthy.